On 26th December, I made $1,053 on one of my trades in one of my accounts. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. But first of all, I'm going to uh, disclaimer that trading comes with the risks, and this performance does not indicate the future performance. In other words, the results may vary, and in this case, for me, I do things that I'm comfortable with. So always do something that you're comfortable with. Now, as a background, it's a new year, but I also want to wish you the best in 2025. I also decided to have one of my accounts that I will be monitoring and trading and sharing with you the results, whether I'm going to be successful or not. But the reason for me doing that is to just share some learning moments. I have also learned that it is very, very important to control your emotions. But sometimes when you have your money on the line, showing, like how things are going and monitoring what's happening in the market, sometimes, the reality may be different. So I like to be transparent about this particular challenge. And for those who don't know me, my name is Isaac Jonas, and I like to talk about money and the markets. And I'm an economist by training. I completed two master's degrees from the University of British Columbia, but what I'm so excited about is that in the market, it's very, very interesting because it's very hard to know what's going to happen in the next minute or let alone in the future. But throughout my experience, I've been learning that if you pay attention to certain things, some of which I will share here, you can be profitable in terms of your trading or even investing. Now, I have also written a book, The Intelligent Millennial Investor, and if you want a copy, you can check it out online. But I also do one-on-one coaching for people who want to learn about how to invest in the markets. I mostly trade and invest as a retail investor in the US and Canadian public markets. Now, just as a background, I started trading in 2020 at the height of the COVID epidemic. But with time, I started learning about trading options, trading stocks. But in so doing, I made quite a number of mistakes. Some of them included just jumping into things or stocks that I didn't understand. But in 2024, I decided to actually take trading seriously. And what happened was that I lost my job, and I have a friend who was currently in New York, and he had been trading options, and he was like, "Hey, Isaac, do you really want to be a profitable trader?" So I signed up for his course. I remember I paid some money and I started learning about options. And for a while, I made some money, and I also realized that you can easily blow your account using options, because what happens is if you are wrong, in your trade options, they have a fixed expiry date. And what then happens is that they, in most cases, they start decaying. In other words, your money or your option premium starts to lose value. So at the end of the day, um, I then decided to start some methods of my own, which included trading leveraged ETFs and also just using a bit of my economics background to understand macroeconomics. Now, trading and investing are different. When I'm trading, I'm looking at things that's going to happen. Maybe if I'm day trading, maybe in 1 minute, 15 minutes. But if I'm swing trading, I'm buying and holding. And that's what I mostly do because I have other things that I do. So that means my time frame, I can possibly buy for 2 weeks, a month, and just hold. So, and I'm going to explain a bit more about that in the future. Now, as a background, this account, I opened the account in December, and happened is I deposited 300 Canadian dollars. And then I was just kind of like debating to say, should I just continue trading in the other accounts that I trade in, but I wanted to give myself a challenge. So I then decided to fund that account to the tune of 15,000 US dollars. So if you can see here, and I'll show you in a second, if you then convert it in Canadian dollars, that's it. But I want to see by the end of the year how things will go. Now, let me just show you so this is a real account. You can see here, this is the trade that I did, but I took the trade for UVIX, which is an ETF that tracks the volatility index. And you can see that my first position was at $3.11. I had done another trade in the past, but I started getting in around $3.13, and I'll show you in a chart in a bit. And I was averaging down, and in total, I ended up holding 1,700 shares, and which I sold at $3.42. So I'm going to show you how this trade worked out. But I think for those who don't understand, this is a trading view chart, and you can change this to, let's say I like to do like just 15 minutes in this case. But this is what happened. What I've observed is that if the equities market drops, then usually the VIX spikes because people are selling off, and sometimes people have a tendency of just panicking. So that's what I capitalize on. So I'm just gonna replay how this trade played out. You can see here that, let's say this was on the 26th of December, but I had started buying, but the yellow is the pre-market because my broker is they open at 6:30. So, but I can also buy or open positions before the market. So this is what you see here. But this move alone, this is how this trade played out. So let me um, exit this and then just start doing this. Right, let me just start on this, and then I'm gonna replay so that you see, right? So remember, I started buying around averaging down $3 something, and then when I woke up, you can see here, boom, it spiked, right? So this move alone, right, from this level to this level, and then I sold at this level, right? And then it started dropping, but that's how you make money, because if you buy low and sell low, sell high, then that's how you make money. But I want you to pay attention to something here, because you see here, mostly the stocks were down. You can see here, right? This is how fast the market can drop. Let's say, let's do a replay here. Uh, let's do a replay here so that you can see, you can really see how fast things can go. So now imagine you are trading in the market and something like this happens. This was pre-market. You can see this drop alone, right? When this market drops like this, that's when people start panicking, right? So this is what happened in like 15 minutes, right? So this is how, and then it recovered. If you watched some of my videos, you can see that I mentioned that when I was recording that the market recovered. Now, the most important thing now in this particular situation is that what I've learned is that it is very, very important to understand how the macroeconomy works. In my case, I like to trade the VIX because I've observed that each time the equities market drops, usually the VIX spikes if there are other news and stuff, but there are certain levels that I have to get in. But I also like to trade other stocks, but I trade leveraged ETFs. For example, I trade leveraged ETFs that track NVIDIA. But the issue with leveraged ETF, it means, let's say, for example, if it's leveraged 2 times, it means if NVIDIA stock goes up by 10%, it goes up by 20% 2 times. And then if it drops, likewise, conversely, if you don't have a stop loss, or if you don't understand what you're doing, you are more likely going to lose a lot of money if you sell. Now, the other thing is that I have other things that I use to generate money, right? But I like to have an emergency fund so that when I'm making trades, I make some trades in a manner that I'm not really desperate to make money, because I've realized that if I make trades just because I want money to pay for bills and stuff like that, I'm more likely going to make mistakes. So I want to educate myself. I read what's happening in the market, I research, and I also have one or two people, kind of like a community. I bounce off ideas, things that I will be thinking about. So if you want to learn more about this, feel free to reach out, share on the comments, and let's see how far I will be able to grow this account. It's a challenge, but I think at the end of the day, it's something that at the end of the day, I'm just doing this for fun, but also hopefully I will be able to make some money out of this. I hope to see you in the next video, and may you trade and invest wisely. And let me know if you have questions. You can shoot me. You can book for time to talk to me on streetwiseeconomics.com. That's my website. Thank you so much, and bye bye for now.